At Momocon 2019, we get to talk to Deedee Magno, the voice of Pearl from Steven Universe, here on the OSMcast.
Made you take an interest in acting?
Oh, wow. According to my parents, I've been a ham all my life. But I started singing at a pretty young age. There was always music around the house. My dad self-taught. He taught himself how to play the piano and the guitar. So there's always music in the house. And I just really enjoyed singing. I grew up with a karaoke machine. My favorites were to listen to and sing to Barbra Streisand and Whitney Houston and Michael Jackson, Debbie Gibson and Tiffany, New Kids on the Block, New Edition. That's what I grew up listening to. So I always loved performing and always loved singing. I started in grade school performing at, actually my very first performing performance was a mime. I was a mime. I stood in for somebody who got sick, and it was a school performance, and I had been to all of the rehearsals, so I knew what the clown was going to do, and it was more just like pop, lock, rock, robot. Anyway, movement. And so I knew I didn't even speak or sing or anything, but that was the first thing that I did on stage in front of an audience. And I don't know, I had fun. My mom would sew my costumes and put my makeup on, and then I just started singing on my own, and then asked if I could do some school performances, and it sort of started from there. I entered a singing contest in San Diego where I grew up, and I was about 11 years old, and it was like an amateur singing contest, much like American Idol, where they would air your singing, your entry, and then the public would call and vote for their favorite. And so the prize was to sing at a nightclub. But I was 11, so they said that my prize would be to sing at the opening of a new attraction at SeaWorld, and then they would televise it, and then so that was my prize for winning. I got like 3 times the vote of the second place singer, which is like, what? That is amazing. Of course, I had all my aunts and uncles call in and vote for me, so maybe that's why. But so that was and from doing that, this is a very long answer, sorry. From doing that, somebody saw that news clip and they wanted to manage me. So they got a hold of my parents and then offered to manage me and set me up on lots of auditions for TV and film and commercial and that kind of thing. And so that's sort of how I got my start. Yeah, I saw the ad for the singing contest on a TV guide, but that's how it started, and then the rest is history, as they say.
So, as far as all the characters that you've voiced so far, which one do you think is closest to your personality?
Well, I only did one other voiceover before Pearl, and that was one of the princesses in The Princess and the Pea. It was, it was for HBO, Happily Ever After.
The HBO, The Times.
Yeah,
I know.
you know what it is, and I can't remember the name of it.
The little animated shorts.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I voiced something for The Princess and the Pea. It was so long ago before I did a show. I did Sister Act 2, which is my first film that I got to do, and it was before that. So So that was my only experience with voiceover acting. But I grew up with listening to and watching all of the Disney princess movies and all the Disney musical movies. So I always dreamed of doing a voiceover for a cartoon and then also singing. And Steven Universe could not have been a more perfect show to be a part of, to do those two things. So I would have to say, out of the two, Pearl would be the most closest I can really relate to, mostly because she's so, paternal to Steven and the other gems. I naturally, I guess, is very motherly type, and I am also a mother of two boys, so it comes very easy to me to love on Steven, aka Zach. And Zach, I've known him since he was about 14, 15 years old, and to watch him grow up to be this man, it's crazy. So I can't help but not be protective of him as a friend. I know he's got fantastic parents already. He doesn't need another mom, but apparently on his phone, when I call him, the word bird mom comes up. Isn't it cute? Anyway, so yeah, I relate to Pearl.
Being a parent, who's your favorite kid? Every parent has one. Don't try denying it.
Oh my gosh, my husband is here. I cannot answer that, please. I tell them each they're my favorite. No, I'm kidding. No, I can't. I can't ever. No, Steven, right? Steven. No, he's my other son. No, I can't answer that question.
I can give you another favorite. Who's your favorite Disney princess?
Oh, Cinderella. I love Cinderella. I've always loved Cinderella, and that was my favorite movie growing up. And I love her songs too. Gosh, there's so many. And some of them don't really. They're not princesses, but Princess Jasmine. I was able to actually play at Disney California Adventure theme park. I played Jasmine in the Aladdin musical Spectacular at the Hyperion Theater, so I got to originate that role there. So that was super fun.
So just by listening to you talk,
You look amazing, by the way. Yeah.
I can just close my eyes and just see Pearl. So was there any prep you had to do? Because you're just using your natural voice for Pearl, right? So was there any prep that you had to use other voices, or you just went in and was like, I'm just going to use my voice?
Well, I was instructed to before, when I got the audition, I was instructed to just use my natural voice for that character. And they wanted the character to, I say they, I'm assuming it's Rebecca and her team. She wanted to have natural voices, and she wanted to be able to have all of her characters sing. So what we had to do for the audition was listen to the recording of Rebecca singing the theme song, and because I love Rebecca's voice from the get-go. I'm like, she's just is amazing. Musician, songwriter, performer, writer, artist. Yeah, she's like a magical unicorn. But I tried to emulate her voice. I tried to sing like Rebecca. Of course, it doesn't matter what I do, I'm going to sound like myself. But yeah, so we all had to sing the theme song, and I tried my best to do all of the inflections as Rebecca, just because I just loved her voice so much. And then from that audition, she made her decision, and I actually auditioned for Sadie and Pearl originally, and she chose me for Pearl. So, yep. So yeah, no real prep. I just was told to use my natural voice. Yeah.
How did you know when Steven was big?
Well, some people ask too. They're just like, did you have any did you ever think that the show would blow up to be so popular? how could you know? So many shows and everything. So many. I guess I should say shows, but like, there are so many things that are created, and there's no telling how the audience is going to react. So we had no anticipation of how the show was going to reach so many people across the globe. But I guess when I started getting more followers on Instagram because of the show, is when I started to think, maybe we're onto something here. But prior to Steven Universe, I auditioned for hundreds upon hundreds of television shows, commercials, video games, movies, all kinds of voiceover projects. And so Steven Universe came along. It was just one of those hundreds of auditions. So I didn't treat it any differently. I just sort of auditioned for it, did my take on it, and then I had to just move along, because at that point I was not booking anything, like as far as voiceover goes. And so when I got called back in to come in for the final audition, it was very exciting, but I had no idea what kind of an impact it was going to have on the audience and the fans. And being able to do conventions like this, well, first of all, it's very strange to charge money for an autograph. It's very strange, but and uncomfortable sometimes. But like, I am so grateful that people want to come and say hello to me, and that have been, affected by the show in such a positive way that I'm just as moved and touched by meeting all of the fans that have supported the show from its inception. And like, I wouldn't be here without them. So I'm so grateful to be part of a show that has touched the lives of so many people all over the world. I mean, literally all over the world. And thankfully, social media can put us in touch with all of those people. So it's pretty amazing, the feedback we've been getting. So,
what's your best Steven Universe and experience that you've had with someone?
There have been so many. I get a lot of people coming up to me and saying that the show has really changed their lives, that it brought them out of dark places, and have brought them closer to a family member or a friend, or they've met friends because of the show. And it's such a beautiful thing. And to play such a small part. I mean, I literally just voice a character on the show. Rebecca and her team have done something so amazing that, I'm so in awe of her talent, and the fact that she was the first female to launch a show on Cartoon Network is already an amazing feat. And and the fact that the show has so much representation. I get a lot of people who, because I'm Filipino. I was born in Portsmouth, Virginia, but my parents are from the Philippines, and the show actually had one of the characters bake an ube roll, which is a Filipino dessert, and to have that kind of representation on a cartoon is kind of like mind-blowing. So a lot of fans from the Philippines or of Philippine descent are just like, thank you so much. I actually have characters that I can relate to, and a show that I can have this connection to from my heritage, and it's just so beautiful. But I'm happy to play a rock, an alien rock, and for this character to, for a lot of people to come up to me and say, I really relate to Pearl. It's just the coolest thing in the world. But yeah, there's so many. I can't pick one. Yeah.
What's the biggest lesson you've learned from Pearl?
That it's okay not to be perfect. She strives, I think, to be perfection at everything, and which is, it's just impossible for anybody to be perfect. So I think that I like Pearl. I like to have things just so when I'm home. I tend to just do the dishes because I know the way I like the dishes to be done. I often take on I overly take on that's not even a complete thing. I take on the tasks because if you want it done right, you got to do it yourself. So like I do that naturally, and I think that after all of the things that Pearl tries to do, and she has good intentions, I think, for the most part, except for that one time. You know what I mean? That it's okay to delegate, that it's okay to ask for help. Instead of running yourself ragged, which is what I do sometimes. So I think that's an important lesson that I can learn from Pearl, that it's okay to not be perfect, but she is perfect.
Out of the other three girls, so blue, yellow, and pink, who has been your favorite out of those three?
Oh, gosh. I mean, our Pearl, of course. She's the one closest to me, and she's the one that, she's the original Pearl. But it's so fun to do little, different little voices on the show. I got to do a handful of different voices, which is so fun. But yeah, I would say our Pearl.
What could you tell us about the Steven Universe movie? Are there any more coming down the pipe?
I can tell you that it's coming soon, and that you are not ready. You're just not ready.
I was going to ask if you know what made Rebecca choose Estelle Garnet.
Oh, that's a great question for Rebecca, but I can't imagine anybody else playing Garnet. I mean, honestly, really, I can't imagine anybody else. She's perfect for, okay, I say I have to retract now. People can't be perfect, but Estelle is perfect for Garnet. Yeah.
What food from your childhood brings back the fondest memories?
Wow. My dad was a chef in the Navy, so he can make everything and anything. But I would have to say my parents made spaghetti with hot dogs in it growing up. It's kind of a very Filipino way of making spaghetti, but they chop up hot dogs and they, put them in the spaghetti. Yeah. What was that saying? If every pork chop were perfect, we wouldn't have hot dogs in spaghetti.
I know that you did a lot of work in the Steven Universe, but I also noticed that you also did voices of a lot of Epic 7 characters. How did that experience differ from Steven Universe?
Epic, what's that?
7.
Epic 7. That
You
is a
voiced-
video game,
Yes.
isn't it?
It's
Okay.
number 4 grossing on Google Play.
I have to check it out because honestly, I have not heard it.
It's your voice is on it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it okay?
Yes.
Okay.
One of the characters you voice is one of my favorites.
Oh, really? And what's
Yeah.
the name of that character?
Her name is Phyllis.
Phyllis. Goodness, I gotta check this out.
And there's a lot of characters and a lot of voices.
Okay, I know that I did like 3 of them, I
You
think.
did.
Yeah. Epic 7. I gotta check it out.
Yeah,
Can my kids play it? Is it
Yes,
appropriate?
It's kid friendly. Number 4 grossing on Google Play.
Okay, cool.
It's great.
I'm gonna check it out. Thanks for the reminder.
You're welcome.
So when you say can my kids play, I just imagine Steven and Amethyst.
Yeah, they're like my kids too. Yeah.
Well, thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Thanks for listening to yet another production of the Awesomecast, your podcast for everything awesome. You can find us online at awesomecast.com, OSMCAST.com, or, wherever you find your podcast, just search for Awesomecast. You can also find us on the social medias, Awesomecast at Twitter or on Facebook. Of course, you can also find our wonderful interview guru, the greatest living interviewer, John Robbins, at J5 is Live. Or perhaps you'd like to follow our amazing editor, Anna, at Angel Darkfire. Or just me, at It's Basil Time on Twitter. Our theme song is produced by DJ Inabito, and you can find him online at djinabito.com. And once again, thanks for listening to the Awesome Cast. We appreciate
It's
you.
over, isn't it? Isn't it? Isn't it over? It's over, isn't it? Isn't it? Isn't it over? You won, and she chose you, and she loved you, and she's gone. It's over, isn't it? Why can't I move on?